Move it.
Second.
Second by DeWitt. Hearing no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 5-0. Items 3 through 8 constitute a consent agenda of routine action items to be considered by one motion. Items pass unanimously unless a separate vote is requested by a board member. Item 3 is approval of the minutes of the October 6th meeting. Item 4 is approval of the claims. Item 5 from Board Administration is approval of a resolution for a tax suspension for initials BH. Item 6 is to receive the Commission of Veteran Affairs quarterly report. Item 7 from Juvenile Detention is to receive the Juvenile Detention Center September population report. And item 8 from Human Resources includes A, approval of memorandum of personnel transactions, and B, authorization to initiate the hiring process. Both items have to do with the separation of the Veteran Affairs Director last Wednesday.
I will move the consent agenda.
I'll second the motion by Radig. Is there any discussion? Anyone on the Veteran Affairs Commission want to address that item or no?
I think it'd be best not to unless the HR Director, Melissa Thomas, has anything she wants to add.
This is a decision of the commission to go forward with this and then to look for another director. So that was voted last week, and I do believe you were also there at the meeting.
Yep.
Okay.
County Board simply processes the change. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 5-0. Item 9 from WCICC IT. Mr. John Malloy is a approval to proceed with the FY21 County PC and multifunction printers replacement projects.
Mine.
Chairman, every year we go through a number of replacement projects with laptops, PCs throughout the city and county, as well as MFPs, and they come up, visit with Dennis, and this time around we have about a short 100,000 or 93,000, I believe, that we'll need to replace these items this fiscal year.
Multifunction printers is usually everybody's favorite office item.
Yes. You probably have 2 at your house, right?
I actually do. And they're terrible.
Yeah. When they work, they're fantastic.
Yeah. So once, first time out of the box. I'll go ahead and move it.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any discussion or extra commentary?
No, Keith's provided it all.
Right. Hearing no other commentary. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say nay. Passes 5-0.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming down. We are ahead of our 4:45 p.m. set time, also known as item 10. So let's move to item 11 from secondary roads. We have Ben Kusler with us, or Mark Nara as well. Didn't see you there. Our county engineer for the first item A, approved transfer of farm to market funds for material testing to the IDOT for project number parent 129, bridge replacement on Union Avenue north of 200th Street in the amount of $1,430.30.
We typically contract with Iowa DOT to do construction inspection for us on portions of the job that require such. They typically inspect our beams, some of our piling, assure quality on reinforcing steel, and then we're billed for those under contract with the agency. So I recommend approval of the FM transfer for Iowa DOT.
I'll move it.
Second. Motion by DeWitt, second by Radig. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say nay. Passes 5-0. Item B is to approve the certificate of completion for project parent C-160 with Graves Construction of Spencer, Iowa for $620,679.97.
This is for the replacement of the Haskell Avenue Bridge, which was completed and has been open now completely since June. All the paperwork finally got done, so.
I'll move it.
It's now officially a bridge.
Second it.
Motion by Potabom, second by Radig. Any feedback from the residents you've heard? Mark?
Nothing really on, yeah, I've had a couple of people say that it's a nice bridge, but it's been relatively quiet as far as anybody from Moville expressing anything to our office that I'm aware of, so.
Maybe we need to have like a big ribbon cutting with some fanfare and,
Well, maybe we should have done that, yeah. Nothing says we couldn't stretch a yellow ribbon across.
I guess ribbon cuttings make more sense over bridges than auditoriums.
That's true.
But,
Drive through.
yeah, as much outcry as we had to keep it in place, we got very little notice from folks that it had been reopened, so. It is a very good bridge, though. Graves did a nice job. I think the completed project rides really well, and good-looking structure.
Good. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 5-0. Item C is to receive bids for project number parent C274 and return them to the county engineer for review and recommendation.
We have bid tabulations, if you'd like to keep track as we go through them. We have 4 bids, it looks like, for replacement of the bridge. If you'll recall, when we had the Lawton City-County meeting, we had a lady who farms in the area off Jewel Avenue between 110th and 120th Street complained about 2 bridges on her street. We recently completed the replacement of the southern bridge with a precast box. Now we're coming back to do the northern one of the 2 with a continuous concrete slab. First bid is from Dixon Construction of Correctionville, Iowa. Bid bond is included. Total bid price, $547,075.30. 547-075-30. Next bid is from Christensen Brothers of Cherokee, Iowa. Cashier's check included to serve as bond. Total bid price, $584,689.73. 584-689-73. Next bid is from Prom Construction of Stanton, Michigan, or Stanton, Minnesota. Stanton was in next to my old county when I worked up in Michigan, back at Genesee County for a year. I'm sorry, it's Slayton. It doesn't write very well. Total bid price, $512,327.92. 512-327-92. He bids well.
Writing that first number is a 5 and not an 8, right?
It most definitely is. His numbers are very clear. The return address less so. Iowa bid bond is here with the next one from Graves Construction of Spencer, Iowa. Total bid price, $537,771.83. While you're doing your next piece of business, give Ben and I a chance to look over the low bid and see if we can catch anything that's obvious. We may be able to make a recommendation. The gap is sufficient. It's a matter of whether or not we see anything like we did last round of bids.
Sure.
I'll move to receive.
I'll second.
Motion by DeWitt, second by Radig. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 5-0.
I was going to say, move to receive and send them to the corner to read them.
Yeah, send them to the corner. Corner, not coroner.
Yes, corner.
Corner. We are still ahead of our 4:45 PM set time, so item 12, reports on committee meetings. Anyone have a report?
I did go to the law enforcement center for the, or not, excuse me, the training center for their awards ceremony. It was a neat experience to go to, and a lot of former sheriffs that were there, and they had discussed all the things that they had gotten done recently in the last year at the training center, and including the flagpoles that were put up that day. So a lot of elbow grease and volunteer labor that went into that, and you know, they're very proud of it, and they should be. So it was just neat to be there, and Dave gave a good kind of, what do you call it, the final speech before the final speech is going to come, I guess. So
Is there a ribbon cutting?
I don't know if there was a ribbon
I was
cutting.
there for the open house earlier, but we had a forum that we had to leave for, so I told Dave I got to miss his speech.
Did they have chips?
There was a lot of stuff on the table, but I didn't want to partake because I wanted there to be stuff for other people.
Write that down.
Yeah. Out of the goodness of his heart. Oh, I wish I could have gone, but I'm glad it went well. It looked like it went well. I got like less than 24 hours notice, so couldn't make that, but I'm sure there'll be another time, so.
Nothing.
Mr. Wright, any reports?
Sir.
Any reports from anyone else? Any reports from the county attorney's office? Any reports from the county auditor's office? Nope.
Michelle Scaff, Deputy Auditor. I just wanted to share with the board that we are no longer high risk with the Department of Justice. We received a letter from them about, a week ago, right after the board meeting, that they have lifted that status. So last edits of our grant plans went through. So we're
Excellent.
happy about that. 5-year project.
Very good. Hearing no other reports on committee meetings, I'll knock out number 13 here. Any citizen concerns? Karen, how many people do we have watching?
I don't have that.
Oh, don't have that capability.
You mean it doesn't go that high?
Yes.
The odometer turned over. Okay, that's that
Back
worked.
from the corner.
Yeah, yes, to clarify, it couldn't register all those. All right, we're briefly back on item 11C. D, yes. Is there a recommendation?
Yes, I recommend award of the bid to Prom Construction of Slayton, Minnesota, for the total bid price of $512,327.92.
I'll move that.
Second.
I said I'll move it.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? Very good. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say nay. Passes 5-0.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
There's some signed papers there for you. Thank you. We are at, by my watch, 4:44, so we'll go ahead with our 4:45 PM set time. Item 10, from Building Services Director Kenny Schmitz. Item A is a public hearing on the Courthouse Chiller Project. We are in a public hearing, and our director will address us.
Yes, this is a public hearing for the Courthouse Chiller Project. If anyone would like to express any comments for or against the project, we'd accept those now.
Sounds like a really cool project.
Sounds like a really quiet
Chill,
crowd.
Keith.
That being said, I guess we'll say that the hearing is now closed.
In a moment.
Well, we're at 4:45 PM now, so someone, if they were to address us, would probably be here. Any sways in the price since the last time you looked at this that people should be aware of?
No sways on the price that we can tell. We did Nothing really to update other than we are going to take some alternate bids on this project for different pieces of equipment, just to see how they come in. One of the alternates will be actually for our cooling tower. We're not actually replacing the cooling tower, but we're refurbishing it while we're doing this project. And one of the components that go into that is called a fill. The fill is basically a plastic or a fiberglass grated system within the tower that water flows through. The cooling tower is made by a company called Marley. So there are original equipment manufacturing parts and components that replacement can be done with, but there are also other companies that are producing a similar product that can be used, and so we're going to build that or bid that as an alternate, so we get a good competitive bid on that. So that was recommended by our engineers, so that is something we're putting in on that.
Okay. And Dennis, is this beyond our CIP allowance, and so we're going to be using other project funds?
No, just before our CIP loan we do in May.
Okay.
Same way with item number 9 also.
So we originally, to add on to that, I had originally had projected just a slight overhaul of that chiller because I knew it was getting aged. And so originally I implemented $225,000 into the 2020 budget. That was prior to our having the big refrigerant leak that we had. And that's when we discovered we needed to do a little bit more than just some upgrades. And so this will be a 2021 CIP, not a 2020.
You won't have it done this year.
We won't have it done this year. We hope to have it done I hope to have it done in March.
Hearing no other
Of this
comments,
coming
I'll
year, yes.
move that we close the public hearing.
Second the motion by Potabom, close the public hearing. Any final comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those say nay. Passes 5-0. Item B is approval to receive and open the courthouse chiller project bid submissions on November 9th at 3 p.m. at the Woodbury County Courthouse, Board of Supervisors, first floor boardroom. I'll move it.
Second.
Second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those say nay. Passes 5-0. Item C is to authorize the county auditor's office to open bid submissions for the courthouse chiller project.
I'll move it.
I'll second the motion by Radig. Kenny, can you explain this step?
Yes. Pursuant to Iowa code, if someone, the board can designate someone else to open the bids. That is what we were doing here. We are authorizing our county auditor's office to do that instead of doing it actually at a board meeting.
Thank you. Hearing no other comments, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say nay. Passes 5-0. Item D is approval to officially receive bids on November 10th at 4:45 p.m. at the Woodbury County Courthouse Board of Supervisors meeting and award the contract to the lowest responsible bidder at that time. I'll move it.
Second.
Second by DeWitt. Kenny, is that also code?
Yeah, other comments I would have on this. There are times when we would open the bids either before or at the board meeting and then come back the following week with a recommendation. I'm trying to save 1 week in this process. So if it looks as though we're able to award this contract, we will do it at that board meeting. If there were some reason that we would say, well, hold the brakes, we've got a problem here, we would come to that meeting and say we're not ready to make that recommendation.
How many bids do you anticipate?
I certainly hope we would get 3 to 5.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Do we have any local companies that can handle this, or you expect the bids to come from elsewhere?
No, I expect these will, I would hope that they'd be sourced locally. I think that's where we'll get the biggest bang for our buck. There may be portions of it that can't be sourced locally, but would probably subcontract underneath the general contract here, and that would be maybe things like the cooling tower. But I would expect that a local firm should be able to handle this easily.
Okay.
How disruptive will this be to operations when it's replaced? Will it impact certain floors or?
It will impact the whole courthouse as a whole. Again, we're trying to do this within the winter months and hope to get back in operation in early March. So there isn't an impact whatsoever or very limited impact.
Thank you. Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kenny. Moving back down to item 14, board concerns. Any board concerns?
I got a couple items. One, that fire response out there near Anthon, I got to say, was pretty impressive. Almost every volunteer fire department for 50 miles showed up. It's pretty awesome. And then the farmers themselves to take matters into their own hands and get out there and stir up some dust. So I just want to commend everybody that was involved in that. That was really impressive. Very windy day, very bad day to have a fire. The other thing I kind of wanted to bring up there came from our forum the other night there, Marty. You had said something about submitting something to the agenda, and then it ended up with Jeremy's name on it. Mm-hmm. And that's just not what happened from my recollection. I know you submitted something week 1. Jeremy submitted something else week 2. Both items were information items. Whenever something was put on the agenda for action, it was always done by staff. So I wasn't assigning credit to anybody as chair. I was always acting with whatever was submitted, and I double checked with Karen to make sure that I didn't miss an email from you or that something wasn't submitted. But anytime you submitted something with your name on it, I always put it on the agenda. So I just wanted to clear that up and have that out there.
Well, I guess I would, rather than sit and argue about it, I'd say we have a different recollection.
Okay.
So like agree to disagree?
Sure. No, I just wanted to.
Is that all?
Yep.
Right. Hearing no other board concerns, we are adjourned.
How'd it go for you this morning, Rock? I was going to listen to it. I was working, listening to the open line, and then I got